Okay, so starting off, my warning signs. When I was about 32 years old, I noticed a few things that didn't seem right with me. I was having some back pain that was just too persistent for my comfort. I didn't have health insurance at the time, so I went to a health department, which is like a low-income clinic. They assumed it must have been some sort of STD, so they gave me some antibiotics and they just sent me on my way. I got home, I still was feeling off. I had the symptoms that I mentioned, in addition to the fact I was very fatigued. I decided to go back a third time, and I really wanted to advocate for myself to get a physical exam because by this point I had not. They started the exam and they said that my cervix looked angry and irritated, but they couldn't immediately see what was going on. So then somebody else came in. They instructed me to get the mass biopsy to see if it was cancer. Unfortunately, they couldn't help me, and so I basically called around to every possible clinic in the area to see if somebody would do a self-pay. Biopsy results were rushed. I found out that I did in fact have cancer. I was staged with 2B cervical cancer. 2B meaning it's gone outside of the cervix. They said that it would kind of be risky to do surgery. Also, they couldn't promise that they would be able to get rid of all of the cancer. So the idea was we were going to do radiation and chemo to try to shrink it as much as possible. And at that point, we would talk about having hysterectomy. I did this treatment from May 2016 to August of 2016. Honestly, my treatment was exhausting. The radiation was more difficult than the chemo. It just wiped me out. I stayed on top of my nausea medicine, took things like Miralax to regulate my bowels. I was also told that I couldn't work during this time, which ended up being financially very hard for me. Yeah, I'm just a single mom. When I completed treatment in August of 2016, the next step would be to come back in November of 2016 for my follow-up PET scan just to see where we were. But it was indicated that I had a good response to treatment at that time.
I praise this woman for sharing her story so confidently and openly, trying to spread as much awareness out there about cervical cancer as possible. And it's also a really good thing as well that she's a survivor. She's beaten the cancer, and obviously it took a lot of stress, it took a lot of time, it took a lot of strain on her body, especially the radiation. As she mentioned, she was constantly fatigued, but she struggled to shake off. But there was light at the end of the tunnel for this woman, and thankfully she has reached that light and she's reached the end of that tunnel and has come through on the other side cancer free, which is more than what you can ask for. And what's obviously made it harder, a lot harder for this woman, is that obviously she's had children to look after, and as she mentioned, she's a single mom. She barely has any other family, surrounding family, immediate family other than her own mom. So all that stress mounting up on top of obviously battling to try and save your life and to continue to be a mom to your children is very hard, yet very, very, very scary challenge. But it's obviously something she powered through and then has come through okay in the end, which is really, really pleasing.